Please, without further much ado, join me welcome our next speaker in person of Mr. Francis Mudia. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Prince. How's everyone doing today? Come on, I need the energy. How's everyone feeling today? That's what I'm talking about, yes. So first off, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Despite the rain, we still made it, and we all made it here safely, so please give yourselves a round of applause. We are alive and well. So I want to give a special shout out to Magdalene for putting this event on. I know she's been busy working her butt off, so we thank you so much. So please give her a round of applause as well. All right? And also, another round of applause for Eva that just finished her speaking engagement. That was good. Very good and very impressed. I was speaking to your mom. I didn't even know you had this talent in you, so that's blessed. For sure. So my name is Francis Jr. Mudia. Well, that's the Canadian way, but it's Mudia. Wabokia. Okay? All right. Speaking of the Edo culture and knowing your Edo language, I was blessed to actually be a part of NECBEN's event that took place last week, Saturday, and that was very empowering to know that the youth need to actually know a little bit more about their language and their culture and, of course, their tradition. So, NECBEN, thank you so much for that. Give her a round of applause. It was a great event. So, the topic of discussion for today is going to be geared towards the youth. I see a lot of youth here. You guys are the future, so please pay attention because the future is bright and the future belongs to each and every one of you guys. Okay? So, we're going to do a lot of clapping. Round of applause for the youth, man. These are the future. All right? Perfect. So, the topic today is academic competence, the right pathway to a successful career, and building resilience. Okay? So, what is academic competence? Right here, academic competence is the skills, attitude, and behaviors that contribute to a student's academic success. So putting in that work while you're in school, studying, being around the right positive role models can gear and shape you guys to a successful life and a very, very bright future, okay? Now, why is academic competence important? Academic skills are important because they can increase your productivity and success at school. Now, in addition to helping you earn the academic credentials you need to enter the workforce, many skills are also transferable to the workplace. So everything that you guys do in school, the studying, the exams, the grades, the credits that you get, will lead you into getting successful careers. And it'll actually show because once you guys have made it to that point where you feel you're successful, you have a bright future, great family, all the hard work that you put in school, while other people were just slacking off, trying to be cool, it'll start to pay off. Nothing is worse than when you see friends that you grew up with trying to be so cool in high school or even college, just to grow up to see them doing nothing. So this is the reason why we're here today, to tell you guys that you don't have to follow. You have to be leaders. Your time will come. There are going to be times where, you're not having fun. Maybe you're studying while your friends are out there partying, having fun. It's okay, because at the end of the day, once you guys have reached that place of success, that is when you can look back and say, you know what? I reaped what I sowed. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Academic competence and skills include the following. Critical thinking. Can any of the youths tell me what critical thinking is? What is your definition, or what do you think your definition is of critical thinking? Can anyone raise up your hand? I'm going to pick someone. What does critical thinking mean? What do you think it means? It's okay. Hey, he picked you. What do you think critical thinking is?
Like thinking outside the box, like thinking more about the topic at hand, like more in depth.
Exactly, more in depth. Give him a round of applause. And what's your name?
Destiny.
All right, give Destiny a round of applause. So that's exactly what it is. Critical thinking is actually thinking in depth, being able to solve problems and thinking outside of the box. So these are the skills that you have to have in order to actually develop great academic competence. Communication, you have to know how to communicate, both orally and in writing. Nothing is worse than meeting somebody that does not know how to articulate themselves and get their message across clearly. So communication is the key. Even when you go for job interviews, it doesn't matter if you start off for working at McDonald's or Burger King. Well, you have to ace the interview by communicating well. And when you communicate properly, people will see it, and that will take you to heightened levels of success. Research skills. Thank you. Research skills. You have to know how to research. Now, who here can give me what a definition of research skills are? Anyone? Anyone?
Seeking information.
Exactly. What's your name?
Divine.
Devon, speak louder.
Divine.
All right, Divine. Give Divine a round of applause. Research skills is very, very important. You have to be able to research things in your life that you think would actually empower you to know the right direction you're going to be going, and to also know how you can also help others by doing extensive research. For example, something as simple as going on vacation. You can't just jump and go on vacation to find somewhere you don't even know if there's racism, you don't know what they're gonna do, you don't know if there's any hatred. You gotta research. Even if you wanna even go to like maybe a basketball camp, you gotta research to see what the stats are, what the successful rates are for these people that actually go to these schools. So research skills are definitely very essential. Career development. You have to develop your career. So this means actually going into your guidance teachers, guidance counselors, and speak to somebody and say, listen, I want someone to help me shape the path of my career. How can you help me? And this is where they can actually help you with your career development. Family members too, your parents, your dad and your mom, they can also help shape you to having a proper career development. Leadership. I just mentioned it earlier. We don't want followers, we want leaders. People that follow sometimes end up to the wrong path, which is why we're talking about the right path to a successful career. So leadership is something that you actually have, and you can sometimes work on it. There's some people that are born to be leaders, and there's some people that have to work on being great leaders, and this is where leadership comes in. If you are a leader, everything gravitates towards you. You don't have to impress anyone. You don't have to follow anyone. You do you, and people will actually come to you. Problem solving. If there is a problem, you having the ability to solve the problem is key. Everybody has problems. The world is filled with problems. How do you solve this problem is a skill that will take you to the part of peace and serenity without any headaches, which is what we're going to talk about later on, resilience. Reading comprehension. We talked about how important it is for communication. You have to have great reading comprehension skills. Reading and writing is essential. The reason why we go to school, the reason why we get better jobs, the reason why we want to have fun and talk to our children is through reading and comprehension. If somebody does not know how to read, they are very, very limited in life. This is a fact. We can take it so deep to ancestral strategic moves where people even prevented us from reading, because reading is key and reading is power. So reading comprehensions is actually a great skill and a great academic competence to inherit. Teamwork. There is no I in team. Teamwork. You can't do everything yourselves. Don't be shy to ask for help. If you have a great team, you will be successful. I've never seen a basketball game with just one person on the court. That's why they call it a basketball team. I've never seen a soccer player walking around trying to score with just one person on the field. It's called teamwork. When you have great teamwork, you'll be able to go to elevated heights. Sometimes people come together and form a successful business venture, successful friendships, and these members of your team will also be the ones to also help you when you're ready to go to the next stage in life, which is trying to get a good career, even family, and so forth. Time management. Everything evolves around time management. If you go for a job interview, one of the things they're going to ask you is, how good are you with your time? Do you know how to organize properly? Do you know how to, make sure you're on time when you have to go to work? What if you have a lot of homework? Can you still sustain a job while having to read for exams? It's all about having great time management skills. If you have great organizational skills and time management skills, you'll be able to maneuver through any obstacles you get in order for you guys to get to the top. Now, what is the right pathway to a successful career, aka career pathways? Just think of this as a path from study to employment. Advisors, mentors, and professors can help guide you towards a successful career by encouraging you to discover your passions and help you map out a plan for job sustainability and fulfillment. So, from when you're in school, from doing good in school, by even asking for mentorship from your guidance counselors or even seniors, these people can actually give you advice, guidance that can lead you to the pathway of a successful career. Now, we talked about researching, research skills. When you research and assess your skills and interests, you'll be able to shape where you want to be in the future, okay? Now, outline your career goals. If you don't have any career goals, ask your parents for help. If your parents can assist you, of course, you have your teachers and your guidance counselors or even mentors that can help you with career goals. Just think about it like, what do you want to do in life? How can I get there? These are the questions you have to ask in order for them to give you the proper direction you need. Create a 5-10-year plan. A 10-year plan might be extensive, but you know what? It's worth it at the end. I've never seen a successful business that never had a business plan. If you don't have a plan in anything you do, it doesn't matter whether it's a job, it doesn't matter whether it's even a team, it doesn't matter even if you're trying to go on a trip and you don't have it planned out, it might be disastrous. So you have to have plans. Think about planning for your success. Think about planning for your careers. What do you want to do in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? When you have a focus, you'll be able to drive with no distractions because your GPS is telling you that is where you need to be, and not just going to Niagara Falls and not even knowing how to get there on the highway. You need direction. Now, discover your personality type. A lot of people have inherited personalities from their parents. The DNA is something that you cannot avoid. But there's some times where your personality type can be influenced by your upbringing, by being around the wrong crowd, or being around the right crowd, or even, as we know, from the hood or the turf. So sometimes personalities can be inherited, or sometimes they can be learned. If you have a nice personality type and you know what your personality type is, you'll be able to move forward with your career. Some teachers might even say, you know what? I think you're very, very funny. I think you could actually be a clown, for an example. But at least they'll be able to tell you what your personality type is, and maybe you might want to be a comedian and practice at Second Nightclub or Yuck Yucks, just for an example. I'm not saying you're a clown, you're a good guy, but this is just an example. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So now, compare job requirements to your education. There's going to be time where you're going to need job requirements when you're ready to take it to the next level, maybe when you're actually trying to go into like an internship. Just look at some jobs that is being offered and compare them to your education. If you like to be a lab technician, what are you taking in school that could get you to that position of being a lab technician? Is it biology? Is it science? Is it any other course that can relate to what you've been taking thus far? Assess your current skill set. What skills do you have? What skills will make you exceed once you've reached that part of adulthood? What do you have? Assess it. Note your interests. If you are interested in something, follow your dreams and follow your interests. I know we come from a cloth, especially with the Nigerian culture and other African cultures where the parents don't see anything else. Not saying every parent in here, please, make it not kill me, or they talk. I'm just saying. They want you to be a lawyer or a doctor or accountant. If you bring anything else to the table, they don't know what you're doing. But nowadays, things have changed. You could be an entrepreneur. You could be lucrative in what you do. If you have an interest and you research the interest and you know that it could be very, very lucrative for you, follow your interests. Convince your parents as to why. This is where the research comes in. Show them the research. Show them what these jobs can do. Show them what these interests can actually amount to in dollar figures. And maybe they will start to understand. So communication with your parents is also key, because if I come down here now and tell my parents, I want to be a singer, they were like, So you tell me, say, I bring you all the way from Benin. You want sing. You there, Chris? That's when I have to tell them, no, listen, this is what singers do. You got to show them. All right? So identify your core values, similar to assessing your current skill set. You got to identify your values so you can be able to know where you're really going in order to get to the right career path in life. Are you guys with me? The youth, are you guys with me? No, you guys are not. Are you with me? Thank you. Now we're talking. All right. So let's move on to the next one. So, building resilience. What does it mean to build resilience? Can anybody tell me what resilience means? Anybody? I have $50 for the person that can tell me. Oh, the hands are going up, eh? Okay. I not get $50, man. But you want to talk? Tell me what resilience means, sir.
Resilience is the ability to overcome no matter what is thrown at you.
God damn, listen to his voice. Give a round of applause. Round of applause. That was a great answer. Exactly. What's your name? You're going to be a broadcaster? Radio personality? I just spotted your personality. You got a nice radio voice, man. Thank you. So resilience pretty much means what he said. And also based on what we have on the screen here, resilience means being able to cope with tough events. When something bad happens, of course, we all feel the anger, we feel pain, we feel grief, but you're able to keep going both physically and psychologically. Pretty much means mentally. You got to train your psyche to endure resilience. Are you guys with me? Yeah. Great. Now, resilience is not about putting up with, something tough or coping on your own. Building resilience is a process by which people become better at refraining from thought patterns and tapping into strength-based approach to working through obstacles. As a process, it doesn't happen overnight. And even if you're already resilient, it is something that we must work to maintain. Resilience is one of the keys. People get things thrown at them all the time. Life hits you hard. Nothing is fair in life. When I told you guys, I thank you guys for being here, that we're alive and well, there's some people that you will see in the news tonight that probably died in a car crash, that actually, didn't even make it anywhere. They probably got shot. This is a sign of resilience. When these people hear the bad news, or family members or friends, you got to be able to work through this. And this is where you have to have a strong mind to endure and to also have help. Because sometimes, in order to go through resilience, you have to do it as a team, as family, and as friends. Now, these are examples of resilience. Trying to take a positive perspective on situations pretty much means sometimes, excuse my language, for lack of better words, sometimes life is shitty. You got to try to actually look at the bright side of certain things. You know what? My car broke down, but it's okay. At least I did not perish in the car while it broke down. That's an example of looking at a positive aspect of certain situations. Another example of resilience is viewing challenges as learning opportunities. Sometimes failures are learning opportunities. We see people that go to school. They spend years getting a degree or a diploma in something, and all of a sudden now they don't want that. It's okay. It's a learning curve. We see a lot of businesses. Sometimes businesses fail so we can actually move forward. An example of viewing challenges as learning opportunities, sometimes you need to take a step back in life to move 2 steps forward. Regulating emotions and expressing feelings in appropriate ways. We are human beings. We all get angry. We all get mad. But we can't act out on our anger. We can't act out on some of the hardships we're facing, or else it can lead us into serious trouble. Are you guys listening? You guys are very young. You guys are going to have people that want to test you guys. You guys are going to have people that want to, see if you prove, to see how tough you are. Sometimes you got to know how to have self-control. And, of course, resilience. Focusing on things that you can control instead of dwelling on what you cannot control or change. Very important to know. Sometimes in life, you try to do things, and if it's not God's plan, there's nothing you could do about it. You just have to find other ways to actually go through the door of your own success and your own path, okay? Viewing setbacks as impermanent. What does impermanent mean, guys? Can anybody just yell out? I don't have to put anybody in the mic. What do you think impermanent means? Thank you. There you go. What's your name again, man?
Destiny.
This guy's and look at the name, Destiny. Destiny, that's a beautiful name. That's a strong name. Believe me. So, viewing setbacks as impermanent means nothing in life is permanent. Things will happen, but life always goes on. I know you guys have heard this all the time. Life goes on. Life will always go on. You can't let life hold you down. It's easier said than done, but with resilience, having great family support, friends, true friends that support you, you will overcome obstacles and they will not be impermanent. Reframing setbacks as opportunities for growth. When you reframe setbacks as opportunities for growth, it means you learn from your mistakes. You learn from setbacks and you move forward. Now, what causes lack of resilience? Here are some examples. Taking on too much, too fast, and setting yourself up for failure. Low self-esteem. If you don't have faith in yourself or your abilities, you're less likely to adapt gracefully to stressful situations. Okay? Being overwhelmed by difficult or stressful situations. Dwelling on problems or using unhealthy coping mechanisms to cope with changes of life. Now, just to elaborate on point number 4, there are a lot of people that have problems and they have unhealthy coping mechanisms. Don't start drinking and become an alcoholic because you have problems. Don't start resorting to drugs because people are telling you drugs is nice. You know what I mean? Like Percocet, Molly Percocet. Hey, we know the song, right? Mask off. But that is just advertising. That's just false. If you have a sense of direction, you're not going to look at it as something that you're going to use to go through life when life hits you hard. Okay? Friends, family, God, prayer, and even school can help you go through obstacles successfully without looking for the cheap drugs or the cheap highs in life to get you there. It's only going to be a short term, and it's going to damage you in the long run. Thank you. Experiencing discrimination or lacking support. We just talked about family, friends, educators to educate you. If you don't have anybody to support you when you're going through tough times, whether it's discrimination, a racist situation that took place either at work, on the road, maybe a cop harassed you, if you don't have anybody to talk to and have a great support system, you are definitely going to be leading to a road of dark depression. And this is where you're going to actually start to use unhealthy coping mechanisms to cope with life's challenges, okay? Now, how can you build resilience? Here are some examples here. Nurturing strong relationships for support. I can't stress it enough. You need a great support system in order for you to actually succeed in life and to also go through things together in order for you to heal properly and also sometimes together. Taking care of your physical and mental health. Finding and pursuing your purpose. Embracing change. Building self-confidence. Maintaining perspective in difficult situations. Develop problem-solving skills. We talked about problem solving. If you know how to solve a problem, you can never fail. Because whenever failure hits you, you will know how to solve that problem in order for you to exceed and excel in life. Learning effective stress management techniques. There's so many ways that people learn stress management. Stress hits us hard. The economy is hard right now. Everything is going up. People can barely live. That's a stress of its own. But how do you manage the stress? What are the techniques that you're using to manage the stress? These are the type of things that you need to know how to do in order to actually keep going and not fall into a path of depression and destruction. So, here are some important steps to obtain academic competence. Set goals for yourself. We talked about it before. Have a positive attitude. Manage your time. Time management is very, very important, guys. Read books of your courses or similar books relating to what you have or things that you're very, very interested in. Record your lecture notes. Prepare for your exams. Study, study, study. I have never seen anybody that did not study and got 100%. You need to study. Knowledge is key. Write your exams flawlessly. Review your exams and work on your mistakes. Sometimes you need to identify your mistakes and work on them so that you know not to make them again. Youth, are you guys hearing me? All right. Youth, are some of you tired? All right. Utilize the resources provided by your school. Utilize resources from your family, friends, libraries, and online. Now, these key steps will help lead you in the right pathway to a successful career, and above all things, you must always be resilient and remain resilient. Now, I want to leave you with this before I conclude. Your success is in your hands, okay? No one else's. Your future is bright. Do not let any obstacle or distractions come in between you and your future. All the success in the world is yours to take, and now is the time to take it. All right, so I'll leave you with that note, guys. Thank you so much. I'm Frank the Emcee. Have yourself a great day.
We could do better. Please have a round of applause for Mr. Mudia. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every single word hit the nail on the head, and he was very, very apt about it. Thank you very much, sir.